Sharon, it's great to be chatting with you today. Welcome, and how are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. Thanks, Martha.
Brilliant. So welcome along to the show. We're reflecting on the month of October, and we did a show a couple of weeks ago focusing on mental health, and the 10th of October was World Mental Health Day. And we're also having a think about things we wish we had a bit more information about. So working on the Future Me project, mental health is an ongoing discussion that we're having all of the time, really, and it's always evolving, and the more we learn about it, the better. So we'd love to get some more information to our listeners and followers about how young people's mental health is supported in Gloucestershire. And we're hoping that you might be able to shed a bit more light on that with us. Does that sound good?
That's great, thanks.
So just to start with, could you let our listeners know what your professional role is and what organisations you work for and how those different organisations sort of interplay?
Okay, so my background is in nursing, but I'm currently the operational lead for Young Minds Matters. Sometimes they're referred to as well as the mental health support teams. And we're employed by Gloucestershire Health and Care NHS Trust as part of CAMS. So we are a school-based service. So we're currently in 72 schools across the county and expanding, offering low-intensity mental health services to children within those schools. But as I say, we're due to expand soon into some of the other schools in the county.
That's brilliant. It's good to know how they all interrelate, you know, the kind of the body that sits behind things that are happening in schools. It's great to hear that there is stuff on hand like Young Minds Matter in schools. So I know we're going to speak to a mental health nurse as well, but I just wondered if you could let our listeners know what someone might expect from their visit to the school nurse for the first time, and what help a school nurse might be able to offer for mental health. If you want to pass that question, you can.
I think I'll pass that on to Bridget, if that's okay.
Hello, my name's Bridget Davis, and I'm head of the school nursing service in Gloucestershire and work alongside Sharon and the Young Minds Matters team. We are school nurses who are registered NHS nurses who visit schools, and while we're in schools we can see young people who want to drop in and see us and talk to us about any health matter that they might have. So it might be a worry about a physical health problem, or often children and young people will come and talk to us about emotional and mental health worries that they might have. It might be exam stress or bullying or anxiety or worries about relationships, anything really that's bothering them, they can come and talk to us about.
For some young people, they may have a bit of worry about going to the school nurse, maybe because they worry they might get noticed by their peers if they kind of leave a lesson or something like that. So what would your reply be to that kind of concern? If somebody was withholding going to see the school nurse because they were worried about kind of that it might make their bullying worse maybe, or that they might get noticed in a bad way by their peers?
So the school nurses are generally in places that are less often seen by members of staff or other young people that attend the school. We work alongside the school, and the school will allocate us a room, and the room will be the same room every week. So if a young person is worried about coming to see a school nurse and being seen, then I would suggest that they come right at the beginning of the drop-in session when there's less people in the corridors. They're allowed to miss lessons to see a school nurse if they want to, and the best person to see to arrange that would be somebody in their pastoral support team or one of the deputy heads, one of the leadership team, and just say that they want to see the school nurse. They don't have to explain why they want to see the school nurse, but if they need special permission to leave a class, then that's who that they would contact within the school. But our service is confidential. We don't have to talk to anybody in the school about what people want to talk to us about. So not to feel worried about us breaking any confidence or about school inquiring about what might have been discussed.
Those are the reassuring words of Bridget Davis, who works for the NHS in Gloucestershire as the operational and professional head of school nursing. I'll be carrying on the conversation with Bridget and Sharon, her colleague, after this short break. I've picked up my conversation with Bridget Davis and Sharon Holmes about mental health and school nursing, and it's to Sharon who I turn to expand on the question of confidence amongst young people at school, and the fact that some of us may not wish or feel confident to approach a school nurse.
Yeah, I think in terms of Young Minds Matters and the school that we're in as well, I think one of the messages that I would probably like to get out, that there's probably amongst your peers, there's people feeling the same way, and it is really important to kind of reach out and ask for help and tell somebody that you might be struggling. And it sometimes takes courage to do that, but if you can manage to do that, then
that's so true, isn't it? That nobody's alone, and that oftentimes people are experiencing the same things without realising. So I just wanted to ask as well of you both, if sort of outside of the school nursing support, what other are there any other services that you wish young people knew more about, sort of within your area of work?
I think that there's a lot of development happening at the moment. So over the next sort of kind of 12 months with Young Gloss, we're developing pathways, in partnership with them, looking at self-referral through, web-based services. So looking at digital solutions to how children can maybe more easily navigate the mental health system and get the support they might need. So that's something I think that I'm really keen to get the message out there, that it's really important to kind of keep an eye on things in the next 12 months as they develop, and people can do that through the CAMS Instagram. So that's something that I'd really recommend that people sign up to, so they can actually see the developments as they're happening.
That's great advice, yeah, and that would be available to people who aren't at school anymore as well, is that right?
So 16 to 25.
Brilliant, yeah, because I think a lot of our conversations can sometimes revolve around what's in place in the school system, and obviously a lot of young people have moved on from school, or they might not be currently in school for whatever reason, so to know that there's other support extra to that is really, really helpful. Thank you.
And I think that's a really good point as well, Martha, that school nurses have school in their title, but that's because they're available for school-aged children, not just children and young people who attend school. So we can also provide a service and see young people who are educated at home, who aren't in mainstream schools, or who are absent from school for whatever reason. So we have a website that you can find out our contact details. So just Google School Nurses Gloucestershire and you'll be able to find our website, and you can find out our contact details and how to make an appointment to come and see us. But we also have a texting service that's available to anybody who lives in Gloucestershire or goes to school in Gloucestershire, aged between 11 and 19. And the texting service is called Chat Health, and you can text any worry or concern that you might have, and it will be responded to by a qualified school nurse. And we aim to answer within the day. Sometimes it's within minutes and sometimes it's within a couple of hours, but certainly within the same day you should get a response.
So I know I'm going to continue this conversation with Becky, who is a school nurse. So tune back in, everyone listening to that in a few weeks' time when we talk to Becky. But just to ask you both really if there was anything further you'd want to add at all.
Really, Martha, I was just going to mention that our YMM chat service as well in the schools that we're in for Young Minds Matters. So again, it kind of mirrors some of the school nursing offer, and in relation to mental health, you can text to get some advice and information, and you can also self-refer through that system, and the details of that are found within school.
I think the biggest message I would like to get out to young people is that everybody from time to time has worries and anxieties about their mental health or their physical health or relationships, and it's really important to talk to somebody that you trust, anybody that you trust. And if it's somebody in school or a school nurse, or if it's a trusted adult within your family, just talk. There's that strap line, it's good to talk, but it really is. So I think for any young person that might be listening to this that is worried about anything, find somebody that you know you can trust and talk to them.
Connect. And it is okay not to be okay, and that's the starting point. So, yeah, as Bridget says, find someone to connect with.
Brilliant. Thank you. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself, and yeah, that's a great point to end on, really. So just thanks so much for your time today, both of you. It's been lovely to meet you, and I'm looking forward to catching up more with Becky, one of the school nurses, really soon.
Thanks, Martha.
It's been lovely to be with you today.
And if you would like to find out more about any of the services mentioned in this interview, you can visit www.ghc.nhs.uk.